Morning, yo.
Yes, good morning, teacher.
Okay, so it seems you look ready today.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. How are you?
I'm fine, teacher. How are you today?
Oh, I'm very much fine too.
Sorry for
Yes.
wait for me
Uh,
maybe 1 hour.
it's okay. Just 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay, so are you ready?
yeah,
Okay, so last time we discussed vocabulary check of Unit 6. It's all about pay. Yes.
yeah.
So here until here. So next, we will continue to the next page. So this time, let's learn some useful structures about multi-part verb. Okay, there are two types of multi-part verbs: without an object or with an object.
Yeah.
Okay, can you read type 1 without an object? Example?
When the public mood change, the real the realist station can take time to sink in.
Oh, so sink in is the multi-part verb. Okay, so there is no object on this subject. So when the public mood changes, the realization can take time to sink in. Okay,
Yeah.
sink in is the verb. Okay, how about type 2 with an object?
Uh, of course, companies may set up deadline with a boss they no longer want in order to encourage them to go too quickly and without a legal fight.
Yes, so of course, companies may set up deals. So with bosses, they no longer want to, in order to encourage them to go quickly and without a legal fight. Fight. Okay, so set up deals here is the verb with an object. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so those are some examples of multi-part verbs. Okay, now let's proceed to some exercises. Okay, for multi-part verbs, let's complete the sentence with the correct form of multi-part verbs from the box. So which verbs need an object? Okay, like for example, number 1.
if we hadn't bought up so many companies, we couldn't be so short of cash.
Yes, so both up or by up is the multi-part verb to use to complete the sentence. So it is type 2 of multi-part verb with an object. This sentence is with an object. Okay?
Yeah,
Company is the object. Okay. Number 2. Can you answer number 2?
it's really.
The shareholders feel that he should really blank because of the mess the finances are in. What is the right word?
Because of the match.
Mess. Yes. So shareholders feel that he should really what?
Mm,
He should really
um, I think it's a breakdown.
Yes, so we should really break down because of the mess the finances are in.
In.
Okay, good. How about number 3?
We had to plan the meeting because the export manager missed his phone.
Yes, so what you will going to do with the meeting because the
We
manager explained?
we has to co-op the meeting.
Yes, you have to cancel or call off the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, how about number 4?
Our sales executive will plan next week to show you on new rates of products.
Okay, our sales executive will, you will what? Next week to show you our new range of products.
Go on.
Call on. Yes, or look after. Look after you next week,
Mhm.
right?
Look after.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. Or the sales executive will see you next week, right?
Yeah.
Or in other words, look after. Okay. 5.
Could you please blame the new recruit? She doesn't know where anything is.
Okay. Call you. Could you please what?
Um, could you
Could you
please
please blank the new recruit?
set up?
Mm-hmm. No.
I think set up or go on.
Call on. Yes, you have to call on because maybe some this person wants to explain everything to the new recruit.
Yeah.
So she asks somebody to call on this new recruit. Okay, so call on. Good. How about number 6?
Negotiation.
Negotiations.
Negotiation. Playing after an hour because they couldn't find a compromise.
Yes. So negotiations blank after an hour because they just couldn't find a compromise.
Negotiation. Playing after an hour because
So what is
step
that?
down.
Step
Point
down.
out.
Mm-hmm. No.
Point out.
Point out after an hour. Or in other words, negotiations will continue after an hour because they just couldn't find a compromise. So what is the right word for this? What is a multi verb you will use?
Point out.
Negotiations will point out. Mhm.
Yeah.
How about number 7? Okay, let's proceed first to number 7.
If turnover is air last
As
year,
low as last year. Yes, as low as last year.
we will probably blank.
Yes. If turnover is as low as last year, so we'll probably
Is air last year. will uh, go under.
Yes, if turnover is lost, you will probably go under. Okay. Number 8.
The only way to blank in this company is to work harder than anyone else.
Yes. So the only way to belong in this company is to work harder than anyone else.
The the only way to get ahead.
Yes. To get ahead in this company is to work harder than anyone else. Good. Okay. How about number 9?
We finally blank a subsidiary subsidiary is spent in last year.
Okay.
Um, we we finally uh, set up.
Set up a subsidiary in Spain,
Yeah.
or we finally point out.
Well,
Yes. So in number 6, it's set up. Okay. So we finally point out a subsidiary in Spain last year. And for number 6, negotiations set up after an hour because they just couldn't find a compromise. Right? Okay. How
yeah.
about number 10?
As in her presentation, competition is rising and price are falling.
Yes. So as she blanked in her presentation, competition is rising and prices are falling. As she, okay, so the remaining word is step down.
Mhm. Yeah.
As she stepped down in her presentation, competition is rising and prices are falling. Okay, good. So this time, let's listen to a financial analyst talk about salaries and share options. So listen to part 1 and complete the information below. Okay?
Unit 4. Listening 1. Page 37. Part 1.
Well, most CEOs' earnings sound exceptionally high because those figures are based on what we refer to as total compensation. In other words, salary and various bonuses, of course, and then, more importantly, what they are actually worth in terms of share value. And it is often this share value that makes the figures so very impressive. Take, for example, the highest paid CEO in the US in 2003. This was the head of Tenet Healthcare, a guy called Jeffrey Barbacow. His total compensation for the period was $116,683,000. Can you believe it? 1 year's earnings? $116,683,000? I mean, that's a phenomenal amount of money. But his salary and bonuses for 2003 amounted to only $5,530,000, which is a reasonable salary by U.S. standards at the time. His shares, however, were valued at $111,050,000, and this is what drove up his total. And then he picked up another $250,000 in other fees somewhere along the way.
Part 2.
Okay, so
Now, you see,
let's,
obviously, some people, even some share
Okay, so now let's answer the part one. Okay, what is the
Mm.
total compensation of
Maybe
Jeffrey
I want
Barbac?
to listen again.
All right. Okay, so let's listen again.
Unit 4. Listening 1. Page 37. Part 1.
Well, most CEOs' earnings sound exceptionally high because those figures are based on what we refer to as total compensation. In other words, salary and various bonuses, of course, and then, more importantly, what they are actually worth in terms of share value. And it is often this share value that makes the figures so very impressive. Take, for example, the highest paid CEO in the US in 2003. This was the head of Tenet Healthcare, a guy called Jeffrey Barbacow. His total compensation for the period was $116,683,000. Can you believe it? 1 year's earnings? $116,683,000? I mean, that's a phenomenal amount of money. But his salary and bonuses for 2003 amounted to only $5,530,000, which is a reasonable salary by U.S. standards at the time. His shares, however, were valued at $111,050,000, and this is what drove up his total. And then he picked up another $250,000 in other fees somewhere along the way.
Part 2.
Okay,
Now, you see, obviously,
so can you answer about Jeffrey Barbacoa? Total compensation 2003?
Total compensation is
Yes.
um, uh, 16 million.
116, right? 116.
Yes, 116 million and 683,000 dollars.
Yes. Okay. How about the share value?
Share value is 23.
Is it
20,
23?
20,
No, it's 111, right?
111.
Yes, 111 million.
Oh.
And
And
$50,000.
$50,000.
Yes, 111 million is the total share value. Okay. How about the salary and bonuses?
5 million.
Yes. So its total amount is 5 million what?
And
500.
uh, 560,000.
Yes, 60.
Maybe.
Okay, so 5,560,000. The total salary and bonuses of 2003. Okay, how about other payments?
Other payment I don't hear
Okay, for
clear.
other payments, it's total of 250,000.
215.
250,000 dollar. Okay. Yeah, so those the total compensation is $116,683,000. Share value $111,050,000. For salary and bonuses is $5,500,000. $60,000, and for other payments is 250,000. Okay, so in this diagram, what's the biggest what is this biggest part? Oh, sorry. Okay, on this diagram, what's the biggest part? What is
Yes.
this biggest part? This yellow
Uh,
one. Is it the share value, the salary?
total compensation.
Yes, it's the total. How about this green part?
When boss is salary and bonus.
Is it the salary and bonuses? How about the share value? The share value is 111 million, right? Salary and bonuses is only 5 million.
Yes.
Yes, so I think this is the no, this is the total compensation. The whole circle is the total compensation, right? And the share value is the green one.
Mhm.
No, the share value is the yellow ones, the biggest part, and then salary is the green, and other payments is the blue one, right? Because of
Yeah.
other payments, it's only cost of 250,000. So it's the smallest total compensation. All right. Now let's proceed to the part 2 of the audio. So she talks about evaluating and rewarding performance. So listen and answer the questions. Okay. Can you read the question first?
Yes. What was the options intended to do? I
Mhm.
can make it change every stock options. How do some managers explore these situations? How are employee when is evaluate?
Evaluated, yes. How
Yeah.
are employees?
Works. Uh, would it work for managers? How can
Yes,
we
will this work?
measure your performance?
So will this work for managers? How can we measure CEO performance? Okay, so let's listen the
Unit
audio.
4. Listening 1. Page 37.
Okay, let's
But his salary and bonuses for 2003 amounted to only 5
let's
million.
proceed to part 2.
His shares, however, were valued at $111,050,000 in other is the best form of compensation because it is accepted wisdom that making the managers part owners of the company.
Part 2.
Okay.
Now, you see, obviously, some people, even some shareholders, would accept that kind of compensation because it is accepted wisdom that making the managers part owners of the company through shares and stock options is the best form of incentive or motivation. That is all very fine, but what that theory fails to take into consideration is that market fluctuations mean that share value can at times be very different from their original value. And management could even encourage this in the short term in order to sell their shares before the market changes or falls again. So you see, the heart of the problem seems to be motivation. And it's rather simple if you treat managers in the same way as other employees. They are generally keen to reach objectives or goals set out for them because they know that when they are appraised or evaluated, they'll get their bonuses or increases in salaries based on whether they met those goals or not. If company bosses have to come up with the goods in order to get their salaries, actually earn them, problem solved, basically. They could be promoted on the basis of company performance. And I don't mean if share prices increase due to a general rise in the stock market. I mean if the company actually outperforms other companies in the same sector. Not even the toughest shareholders would object to that.
Okay. Do you understand the explanation? Can,
And
can you answer these questions?
no,
No. So do you want to listen again?
yeah,
His shares, however, were valued at $111,050,000, and this is what drove up his total. Some people, even some shareholders, would accept that kind of compensation because it is accepted with
Wait.
compensation. Some people. His shares, however, were valued at $111,050,000,
Okay, wait.
and this is what drove up his total. And then he picked up another $250,000 in other fees somewhere along the way.
Okay,
Part
part
2.
2.
Now, you see, obviously, some people, even some shareholders, would accept that kind of compensation because it is accepted wisdom that making the managers part owners of the company through shares and stock options is the best form of incentive or motivation. That is all very fine, but what that theory fails to take into consideration is that market fluctuations mean that share value can at times be very different from their original value.
Okay.
And management could even encourage this in the short term in order to sell their shares before the market changes or falls again.
Okay.
So you see, the heart of the problem seems to be motivation. And it's rather simple if you treat managers in the same way as other employees. They are generally keen to reach objectives or goals set out for them because they know that when they are appraised or evaluated, they'll get their bonuses or increases in salaries based on whether they met those goals or not. If company bosses have to come up with the goods in order to get their salaries, actually earn them, problem solved, basically. They could be promoted on the basis of company performance. And I don't mean if share prices increase due to a general rise in the stock market. I mean if the company actually outperforms other companies in the same sector. Not even the toughest shareholders would object to that.
Okay. Okay. Can
I
you
think
try to answer
yeah,
what were stock options intended to do?
um,
So I think the best way to get incentives and bonuses for motivation, right?
yes.
Okay. How
I
about number
hear
two?
I hear motivation, but I don't hear. Yes,
Yes, it's for motivation. So the best way to get incentive. Okay. How about number 2? How can market changes affect stock options?
I don't hear.
Okay. So market fluctuations. So market fluctuations means that the share value can at times be very different from the original value, right?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. So how do some managers exploit this situation?
I don't know.
So they would encourage what? The management encourage this into short term in order what? In order to save their shareholders to sell their share before the market changes or falls again, right? They would encourage this to short term in order to sell their share before the market changes or falls again.
Yeah.
Yes, they would offer short term. Okay. So, how are employees generally evaluated? How they generally evaluated? The kind of motivation. They would treat what? They would treat managers in the same way to the other employee, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because they are generally keen. So managers are very keen to reach objective or goals to set up um, to set to set up another goals, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what is because if they are generally evaluated, so they easily get their bonuses and high salary. So whether they met their goals or not, right? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so the last question. So how can we measure CEO performance? How can we measure? It depends upon the performance, right? Their performance, company performance. How can you measure CEO performance?
Um,
For
we
the
can
last part, for the last part of the explanation.
we can measure a CEO performance by another company performance.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So the company bosses had to come up with the goods in order to get their salary. So that's one way to solve the problem, and it depends upon their um, company performance to the other company, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It's quite difficult.
Difficult for me.
Yes. Okay. So let's proceed to useful tips. Evaluating performance. Okay. Can you read?
Yeah. Performance is usually evaluated by looking at path objective and deciding whether they have been met.
Mm-hmm.
If they have not been met, the person being evaluated can give reason why, and new objectives can be fixed.
Mm.
Below are some expression you might hear during an evaluation
Session. Yes.
session.
Oh, so what are some expressions? Can you read the expressions?
We had real problem with
Yes. Next.
uh, the business side overspend on the.
Okay. There's been a slight overspend on the or
We was behind schedule, but we managed to catch up.
all right to catch up. We were behind schedule, but we managed to catch up. Okay, another expressions. Okay, next.
We come in under budget.
We've come in under budget. Or
Uh, it has been easy, but we managed to hit our deadline in the end.
okay, so it has been easy, but we managed to hit our deadline in the end. Okay, just another expressions in explaining if you didn't come up the or you didn't able to meet the expectations. Okay, and the last.
The deadline is too tight. We are not going to meet it.
All right. So did you have you been experienced using these expressions? Like for example, if you doesn't able to meet the objectives. So these are some expressions if they like for example in the company. So if they have not been met, the person being evaluated can give reasons. Okay, these are some expressions if you are giving some reasons why you didn't able to get or why you didn't able to met the objectives, right?
Yeah,
Yes, in explaining your report, why? Oh, if there are some bosses or managers asking you, oh, why you didn't able to finish this kind of report or this kind of objectives, and then these are some useful expressions you can use, right?
yeah.
Yes. Okay. For example, this one, we were behind schedule, but we managed to catch up. Or the deadlines, it's too tight. We're not going to meet it. Yes. Okay, so let's have a free talk. So do you think everyone should earn so much money? Why or why not? All right, so for your own opinion, do you think everyone should earn so much money?
Yes, I think everyone should earn so much money.
Why?
Because today the social have many works to earn money, and when we try more, we can earn so much money.
Yes,
For
if you have a lot
example,
of money, you can do more.
yes,
Yes. What else?
maybe we can investment
Yes, you can
in
invest. Mhm.
stock.
Yes.
Yes, and
Yes, good.
maybe invest in
Mhm.
blockchain,
What is that?
blockchain,
Oh,
blockchain,
can you type the word?
blockchain.
Blockchain?
Yes,
Ah, all right.
Oi.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay,
And
so money can do a lot.
yes, and
Yes.
maybe we can teach someone something from another other country.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes. It's a very
and many way
advantage.
to earn many way to
Yes. Yes, there are many ways to use money. So everyone should earn so much money.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we because in our in the as of now in our situation, we cannot live without money, right? Yes, we cannot eat without money because everything we eat, we buy.
Yeah.
Yes, we cannot like for example, we don't have clothes without money because uh everything we wear we are wearing is it's from money.
Yeah.
Yes, everything we are inside our house is we buy it using
Yeah.
money also. Yes, so we go to work, we use also money for our allowances.
Yeah.
Yes, so everything, so everyone should earn so much money.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. Now this time let's learn some structures. Okay, so I think you are very familiar of different tenses, right? The present perfect tense, the past perfect tense, future perfect tense, right? So how to use present perfect tense? Can you read?
Yeah.
Okay.
The present perfect tense refer to an action or state that either occur, occurred at an indefinite, indefinite,
Indefinite. Yes.
indefinite time in the past or began in the past and continued to the present time.
Yes. So the present perfect tense refers to an action or state that either occurred at an indefinite time in the past or began in the past and continued to the present. Okay? Yes, a situation that um, began from the past and it's continued until now, right? Or until present time. Okay, example for affirmative structures. Okay, subject plus have or has plus verb. Yes, example. Can you read the example? It has
Yeah,
been.
it had been 2 months since I first met him.
Yes, it has been. Used has been 2 months since I first met him. Met him. Okay. Second,
I have watched for TV for 2 hours.
yes, I have. And then plus the verb. Watch.
Watch.
Okay, and next.
He has prepared for dinner since 6:30 p.m.
Yes. Okay, so she has. Then plus the verb prepared. Okay. So since 4 is the time. Okay? Yes, you have to state the time when it was that happened. Okay, those are for affirmative structure. Okay. Now let's practice.
Tamika, Tamika often decide we tend to you. Put the following words and phrases in the correct group below.
Yes. Okay. So these are sometimes you will use when you use present perfect tense. Okay. Can you can you choose finished time and unfinished time? What are some finished time?
Finish time is last week
Yes, last week. What else?
ago.
Ago.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Since.
Since. Is it finish time? No, it's unfinished
Yeah.
time, right?
Because it. Yes.
Like for
Because it's
example, if I will, if yes, okay, I will give you an example. If I will say, oh, since yesterday I've waited you so long until now you didn't arrive. Okay, so I've waited you since yesterday until now. Okay, so it's unfinished time.
yeah.
Yes, okay. How about 8 April?
Uh, no.
It's already finished, right? Okay. So 8 April. How about
Mm.
this? This.
This
Yes. Is
this
it
morning.
unfinished or finished time?
Finish time. This.
This morning? Yes. Okay. Next.
Mm.
How about recently?
Recently.
Recently.
Um.
Is it unfinished or finished?
Finish time.
Mm-hmm. No.
Recently.
Recently. Yes. Do you know the word recently or recent? Okay. So not
Not.
long ago or a time. At a time that started not long ago. Okay,
Yes.
example, have you seen any good films recently? So it's not too long ago.
Yes.
Yes, it's just recent. Okay, so this is unfinished, right?
Yeah.
No, it's already finished. Yes. This is happened recently, but it is already happened, right?
Yes. I think
Yes.
so.
Yes. Okay. How about the next word? Never.
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 Unfinished.
Yes. Okay. How about in 2005?
Uh. Finish.
Finished? Yes. How about last week?
Last week we tie.
Last week? Ah, we're done.
Tie the first.
Yesterday, we're done. On Tuesday,
On Tuesday finish.
finish. On. On. From the word on. Yes. Is it finished or unfinished? Because when you say it is the finish, you will use last Tuesday, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yes. So on Tuesday, it's unfinished, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Already for.
And already for
Yes.
unfinished.
Already. Like for example, oh, are you done eating your
Ah,
breakfast, yo? And you will say, oh, I'm already done.
finished
Yes.
already. Yes.
Okay.
Chào tôi.
Okay. How about ever?
Uh,
Oh, already.
unfinished.
Yes. So how about yet?
Yes, finished.
Yet.
Finished.
I'm not yet done. Are you done eating your dinner? Not. I'm not yet done.
Oh,
Okay.
unfinished.
So unfinished. Yes, you will use yet if the situation is unfinished. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Now this time let's listen. Let's learn present perfect tense negative structures. So for negative, it's very easy, it's just like affirmative structures, but in negative, you have to add not, right? Not. Have not, has not,
Quần áo gì
does
đâu?
not, do not. Okay? Yes. Okay. Can you read the example, please?
She has not prepared for dinner since 6:30 p.m.
Okay. He has.
He has not eaten this kind of food before.
And the last one,
We
we.
haven't we haven't met each other for a long time.
All right. So those are some examples of negative structures for present perfect tense. Okay, the use of have, has not, does not, and do not. Hello. All right, so we will end our lesson this time. So we will continue this on Thursday.
Yes.
All right, so see you again on Thursday. Have a good
Yes.
day.
Yes. See you again Thursday. Thank you
Yes.
for listening for me. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
it's okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Đi chơi bố đi. Bye.
You look
Yes. Yeah.
sleepy.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.